Shout out to I'm Not a Lawyer, but on TikTok. I am not a lawyer, but on TikTok. Y'all go follow her. Credits to her for this video. She did an amazing recap. I'm going to play it. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give my thoughts on it. You let me know how y'all feel. These dudes just don't learn, man. I swear. At all.
Is being sued by this influencer. And before you start seeing all the clips from this trial, because I imagine there are going to be some viral moments, let me tell you everything you need to know about how this started as sliding into some DMs and ended with a broken leg and a lawsuit. Ciao. So this is model, actress, and social media influencer Sophie Hall. And back in May of 2023, she purchased a ticket for her 10-year-old son to go to Tyreek Hill's football camp. According to the lawsuit, prior to purchasing that ticket, Sophie never had any interactions with Tyreek.
So I'm just learning about her. Apparently, she is an adult entertainer. But for whatever reason, I'd love to call these people influencers. Also, she didn't know who he was before, but she decided to spend money to go see him. Maybe I'm making a little bit of a big deal out of that, but it smells of conspiracy already. I could be wrong.
However, the day after she purchased that ticket, Tyreek slid into her DMs saying, quote, "Not." She replies, "Not what?" And then he says, "Not 6'1", which is the height she has listed in her bio of her Instagram. She then tells him she is 6'1" and that he will see that she is because, interestingly enough, she literally just paid for her son to go to his football camp. Tyreek then replies saying, quote, "We lit then. I'ma see you towering over everyone, I guess." And then says, quote, "I've been known to be a good stepdad." The two of them keep messaging each other on Instagram. And when it came time for the camp, Sophie comes down a day early because Tyreek told her that he wanted to hang out. At this point, they exchange phone numbers. And about 10 days after the camp, Tyreek flies Sophie out to spend a few days with him at his house. Now, according to Sophie, she arrived on June 28th. She spent the morning with his mom and his sister while Tyreek was out for a few hours. And then when he came back, he did some drills in his backyard.
Real quick, I just want to say, like, y'all don't even be knowing these people. You think just because you scroll on these people's social media that's their life? That tells you everything about their character? I get it. You don't want to go out and meet people the old-fashioned way. But damn, if I'm about to sit up here and treat Instagram, Twitter, and all these other apps like it's Amazon, where I just get my pick of the litter of whatever female I want because I got money, and I'm just going to say, well, I'm gonna show my blue check and oh, I'm in the NFL or I'm in the NBA, and they're gonna bite, and you think that it's gonna be just this smooth exchange between you and this person without there being other little elements that fall into place is asinine. I don't know how the hell y'all be thinking.
According to Sophie, after Tyreek did the drills with his trainer, he then invited her to join him in doing some. See, this is already a bad idea. Because why would you play football with someone who plays football? So Sophie says on the first play, Tyreek tells her he's going to play offense while she plays defense. His mom, his sister, his friend, and his trainer are all outside watching. And when he says hike, she apparently rushed him, causing him to be pushed backwards as she's pushing against him. This move apparently caused the audience watching, his mom, his sister, his trainer, and his friend, to laugh. And according to Sophie, This is when things changed. The lawsuit says Tyreek became angry and embarrassed that he lost his stability at the hands of a woman. And so he tells her, let's run another play. But this time, he's going to play defense while she plays offense. See, I don't even play like that. They run the second play, but while they're running it, a small dog runs out and interrupts them. So they run the play for a third time. And according to the lawsuit, in this third play, Sophie holds her own. And so Tyreek says, let's run it again. And it's during this fourth play that Tyreek allegedly charged Sophie so hard that she felt an immediate pain in her leg and that caused her to collapse to the ground. Now, according to the lawsuit, despite Tyreek's knowledge of sports-related injuries, he downplayed Sophie's injury, telling her she just needed to rest and ice it up.
Now he told her to walk it off. Are you crazy?
Sophie stays at his house for a couple of days, and when she gets home about 3 days later, she goes to the doctor and learns that her right leg is broken. This is actually a video she posted on her Instagram account about 2 weeks after the incident.
There shall never be anyone like you.
Why?
Therefore,
why do you have to
know
go dramatic
yourself.
with that shit?
Be
I really want to know
yourself.
why. You shouldn't have even been doing any of that roughhousing with no grown ass man. I see where this is going. I'm not saying he wasn't overly aggressive. I'm not even going to say that he had his feelings hurt. I don't believe that's the case here. But since y'all want to argue that, I would love to see y'all prove that this man's pride and his ego was hurt and that he maliciously ran her to the ground, ultimately causing these injuries. But if the roles were reversed and she would have somehow injured him, y'all would have told him to shake it off. Y'all would have bashed and bitched at him for being a female, for taking her to court if the roles were reversed. Why are you even doing that with him in the first place? Like the music though, my Nick, like, all right, I feel for you, you injured yourself. Why did you have to go to social media with that? That's private. We don't need to know about that. I don't know. It's just some stuff that just be smelling and feeling real shaky about shit like this, because it come off like you just want attention for it. Tyreek Hill injured me, hurt me, but I'm a survivor. I'm strong. Ooh. But you shouldn't have even been doing what you were doing with him in the first place. I don't know.
Authenticity is everything.
7 months after this incident, Sophie filed this lawsuit alleging that Tyreek intentionally and maliciously charged at her because he was embarrassed. And so she's suing him for assault and battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligence. And the negligence claim is because, according to Sophie, Tyreek had a duty to be more careful when he was engaging in sports-related activity. Now, the lawsuit doesn't say this, but I imagine this duty they claim he had is because he's an NFL player, and so he had even more of a reason to be careful. Now, in defense of these claims, Tyreek is saying Sophie is the one that was negligent for participating in a dangerous football drill. And he also seemed to claim in one of his depositions that Sophie didn't get the injury from him, but instead got it when she stepped on the dog during one of the drills. So I'm not sure what the defense is actually going to be, but I'm sure we'll find out in opening statements, which are scheduled to start today. Now, before I go, there are a few other interesting tidbits from the filings. So Sophie's attorney recently filed some motions asking the judge to prevent Tyreek's team from bringing up that she has an OnlyFans account, that she may or may not have had relationships with other NFL players, and her team is asking for the judge to prevent Tyreek's team from telling the jurors that she and Tyreek were intimate without protection the night of the injury and the next day.
How you hold up. How are you going to try to take certain elements out of the lawsuit that are probably going to help the jury and the judge decide efficiently and effectively as to what surrounds this. What we have is an OF model and an NFL player doing what they do on a regular basis. You see this shit all the time. These niggas keep on sleeping with these adult actresses and these influencers and models. I don't know what y'all be expecting to get out of it, as if they haven't shown you time and time again that they are about the bag. They'll do whatever the hell they gotta do to get it, even if it means compromising their own self. But here we are. And now you telling me that, oh no, we can't talk about that. They slept together on the night of the injury or whatever. We can't talk about that. Or we can't bring up her past. Or why? Why do y'all have so much of a issue with presenting evidence, especially key evidence, if it's necessary for the actual case? Why don't y'all want to know about who she is? Why are you trying to hide that?
Sophie's team is arguing that none of this information is relevant to the case and could actually cause the jury to unfairly judge her. Meanwhile, Tyreek's team is saying all of this information is relevant, and the sex part is especially relevant because why would she be intimate with someone who she believes purposefully just hurt her? And the decision to not use protection, according to them, shows that there was some level of trust. And then on Tyreek's side, because Sophie isn't the only one trying to have stuff excluded from this trial, Tyreek's team has asked the judge to prevent any mention of his prior violence allegations, or as Sophie puts it, that he has a history of losing his temper and becoming physically violent with his romantic partners. Well, now, I don't know. That may seem relevant. I told y'all this is going to be a mess. Okay, so that's...
So at the end of the day, two messy people get into an entanglement. One gets injured, and now y'all trying what? To sweep this shit under the rug? Tyreek Hill, I said this shit before. You are a freaking idiot. You have no discipline whatsoever when it comes to dating at all. Maybe you are a good player, but when it comes to dealing with women, oh, you nigga. When it's all said and done, I wouldn't be surprised, bro, if you lost everything that you had because of shit like this. This ain't the first time you've been on record. So I can understand why they would want to bring up your history, just like I would understand why your team would want to bring up hers. I'm not really, matter of fact, now that I think about it, well, shit, this was a recipe for disaster anyway, which is why I say she got your dumb ass. And this is why I say playing in the snow is a no. And it's not necessarily that culture is just like that, but look at the history. You playing Russian roulette every time y'all step out and deal with these females, man, that are branched under certain categories of work. So I really don't feel bad for you or her. I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out, though. You looking shaky, though, bro. I ain't going to hold you. And if she do win somehow, you can't blame nobody but yourself. What do y'all think? How do y'all feel this is going to turn out for both of them? This shit is hilarious, man. These fools just don't learn. They just keep on fucking around with them. They keep